I'm here. You know what I mean? Going up back over. You know what I mean? When I did the T800, like redubbing this shit. As I said before, you know what I mean? In my room that I'm in, you know what I mean? It's pretty hot, so the fan that has a squeaky noise, and I was supposed to fix it, and I haven't been able to fix it. It keeps making a weird noise in the background, so I apologize for that. Now, as you can see, you know what I mean? I'm doing this in like 2020. I did the sculpt in 2020. From the date on the video, I put it on my channel before, but the background music that I used, the Terminator background music, people said it was YouTube sent me a policy that it blocked my video because I use music from the original Terminator score in the background. So I had to I got some views out of this, but you know what I mean, I recently think I should repost this, you know what I mean, to show you like the sculpting steps, even though when I did this I wasn't, you know what I mean, wasn't the way that I was doing this sculpt. It's not how I approach sculpting now. I approach it a lot more differently in terms of, you know what I mean, roughing out the musculature and the anatomy and all that stuff. So, you know what I mean, it's pretty dated by certain people's standards. It's not one of the first sculpts I did. This is like probably the 10th, or you know what I mean, because what I've been doing, pretty much, I've been like modeling stuff like houses, cars. I've been doing like low poly modeling, the sculpting for the characters in I first started in Mudbox, sculpting in Mudbox, and when I was sculpting in Mudbox, it was, you know what I mean, much more simplistic. But when I saw what ZBrush had to offer, and like the endless amount of stuff that you could do in ZBrush, you know what I mean, I was instantly hooked. So I just went over to that, and for other things now, like I would be doing animation in, because this is a model that, you know what I mean, like the alt that I showed recently, it's, and you know what I mean, the mesh is pretty ready for game or animation. You know what I mean, you can transfer it to Unreal Engine, you can use it in Blender, Maya, you know what I mean, Cinema 4D, the works, whatever it is that you use, based off the primitive that I was using. You know what I mean, these, I haven't changed it up that much. For those of you that are familiar with sculpting in ZBrush and the primitive that the ZBrush people provide, which you can, you know what I mean, add your thing to it. So, you know what I mean, me, cause this mesh that you're seeing right here was one of the original meshes that he even has like a penis. You know what I mean, the new one that they put in doesn't have that. And the thing about this mesh is that it already has, you know what I mean, certain UVs depending on how high you carry the subdivisions and all that shit. Again, I apologize for the fan background. It's fucking messing with me, man. What I do is, you know what I mean, the sculpting and the modeling and stuff is very therapeutic, and it's for other professional people that are doing it, you know what I mean. You might be doing it as a job. I could do it as a job, but like artwork, doing it as a profession and doing it like overall, doing it because you love it. You know what I mean? It makes what you're doing like. I found like, growing up, I could always rely on this to kind of whatever I was going through would be very therapeutic and would help me cope with, you know what I mean, a lot of, you know what I mean, outside stuff that, you know what I mean, could drive a person like, beside, you know what I mean, working out, sports, you know what I mean, going to the movies, going to the park, I mean, linking up with friends. I always found that, you know what I mean, doing artwork as a child coming up was like the most therapeutic thing, apart from doing music, now which I do. I write songs, I write tracks, you know what I mean, I compose them. No one wanted to like, you know what I mean, recognize me outside of this, so I just feel like if you want to pursue things, like you want to do multiple things, you know what I mean, you only have one life to live, so, you know what I mean, regardless of how good you are, what I was trying to find was like a T800 skeleton, you know what I mean, I think I eventually bought one. I did get one, you know what I mean, I didn't do the animation, I wanted to recreate, you know what I mean, a scene from like one of my favorite movies from the 80s. I wanted to do like T1 and T2, like the first appearance, and him like the sideboard parts revealing from under the skin and all that. I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? When I was doing this Arnold one, you know what I mean? It's just a very iconic movie, and you know what I mean? It inspired a lot of people to get into VFX, and you know what I mean? CGI. I think when Terminator 2 came out, what the effects that we saw the liquid metal effects. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things, you know what I mean? It's one of the first CGI effects that we got, like in the 90s, coming out of the 80s. You know what I mean? They did Tron, and that was really one of the first, you know what I mean, really impressive CGI effects we got back then, and it inspired a lot of people. And shit just evolved from there, coming into now. Yeah, but basically what I can say is that, you know what I mean, I think this mesh overall can do a lot of things, you know what I mean, and I recently went back over it and put in a lot more fine detail. Over there, that's the one that I got, and I put it in Blender, basically because I wanted to do like the cinematic. Doing back over people's cinematic, but one of the things that I wanted to do with this channel was I wanted to recreate you know what I mean, scenes, you know what I mean, fully virtual assets, you know what I mean, from scratch on this channel and just like, you know what I mean, do cinematics. It wouldn't be like my stuff, it would be, yeah, what I would be doing is not really like official work, because as people know, I've been talking in a lot of my videos about me working on a game project. And apart from sometimes you working on your stuff, sometimes you just gotta go back to things that you know what I mean, inspired you as a child growing up. You know what I mean, as a cinemaphile. Because me and my sister, I have an older sister, I have two older sisters. Back in like '89, you know what I mean, going on to like 1991, she used to watch this on cable all the time, and like it used to come on like late nights. I think it was The Terminator was a movie that came on. It used to come on HBO. Did it come on HBO? I don't know if it came on HBO or it came on Max late night. It did come on Cinemax. It showed on Cinemax, both Cinemax and HBO back in the day. You know what I mean? Watching it. It came on USA channel. That's the made for TV version. You know what I mean? And later down we could always get it at the video store. So, you know what I mean? I think I even bought like all the DVDs, but the first two movies are the ones that really matter, because I have them in like the late 90s to the early 2000s. I bought a bag of stuff. I bought like 2000, year 2001. I went back and I bought like, I got like Blade, I got like The Matrix, I got like T1, T2, and a bunch of other stuff. Man, I collected a lot of DVDs. You know what I mean? The ones with special features, not like the ones that they're doing now. Because what I would watch them for, the extended cut, the special features, stuff like that. I think I got like the original, one of the original Terminator special edition DVDs, where James Cameron does commentary and he's talking like they do with all the crew, Stan Winston included, and they're talking about all the effects stuff. And now I mean, when they were shooting in Los Angeles and all of what he went through, and he had to do some guerrilla filmmaking and all of that stuff like that, some crazy shit, man. And the deleted scenes and all that, yeah, it's crazy. So technically, you know what I mean, when I was in primary going towards high school, I always wanted to do film. But the thing is, you know what I mean, while I was growing up experimenting with stuff like this, because back in early 2000s we had like my friend that was into this stuff, you know what I mean, he gave me like a CD with a bunch of stuff on it, you know what I mean, for my computer and stuff. Like, he gave me, I think what was on the CD, you had like an early version of Blender, you know what I mean, not too good, you know what I mean, I wasn't fucking with Blender back then, and Cinema 4D and Maya and all them, they didn't have, you know what I mean, the capabilities of ZBrush that would later on be added, you know what I mean, because ZBrush came on like what, 2007, and at the time, you know what I mean, we didn't have like computers that had upgraded to like 256. And I mean, I bought like an Alienware custom system in 2004, which, I mean, had what was SLI supported, that had two 256 GeForce NVIDIA with SLI, I mean, water cooling systems. And I bought that to basically play games on it, I mean, like, and I think I had a problem with the early model water cooling and all that. But I bought that computer, man, to play like Crisis. I ain't gonna tell no lie. Until later down in, I think it's 2008, I bought like a 512. I bought a 512 graphics card. It was NVIDIA. It was an NVIDIA 8800. I mean, that I use. I mean, later down when I was working, when I was doing video editing, and I was doing a little bit of this back in 2008 to like 2009. And when I branched off, a lot of people were editing music videos. They were doing this type of stuff. I mean, I go for the longest time, the most things I could do technically was, I mean, roadside signs, which I would do that in Photoshop, or I would edit wedding videos for the place that I work on, the outlet that was putting them out, like when people come out, they get married, or when people get married in general, people that do film the reception, and then, I mean, they edit they used to have a package deal. I mean, and then I did a lot of independent stuff where I worked alongside music video directors. I did like editing for, and at the time, I mean, I still had my childhood project that, I mean, the comic that I showed you all that I was working on in the previous video. I did that in high school, like in 2002, 2003. I mean, it was a whole idea. I did a lot of things up to 2007, but, I mean, stopped to like really work. I mean, work. Yeah, because, I mean, you doing your pet projects and things, and in order for you to do your stuff, I mean, you gotta go out and hustle, gotta get that dough, gotta do all that. I think that's something that's generally lacking in today's society, where people, I mean, I believe that a lot of them are creatively bankrupt, so they try to find all type of excuses to say, what I mean, I can't do this or I can't do that. And the thing about it, what I mean, at the end of the day, to how I was doing this on a productive level, what I mean, I'm unattached from the work that I do. I mean, to me, it's just a job, but to some people, like what they would call the so-called woke mob, people that don't believe, I mean, that artists, people that are commercial artists are doing a real job. Up to this day, you have people out there that don't believe, I mean, that if I'm working freelance and I'm doing stuff for clients, because they're in few now and people have few needs technically, and at the end of the day, I mean, it's not you going into publisher and doing some little clip art. That's not professional. That's not a professional artist. What I did was professional artwork for like over 20 years, and that's one of the models from the game. Yeah, that's coming up next. As I was saying, professional artwork, it's not all digital because believe me or not, someone comes to me with an idea, I already have that idea in my head for like people that are really creative and not for like, I believe that anyone can do art, but it's the reason and the thought behind it because a lot of people can, emulate being an artist, but you're not truly an artist. The same way, someone, you wouldn't tell a rapper that, there are rappers out there that do the rapping thing because they don't want to sing, and a lot of them have a very good singing voice, but they don't want to come off as corny or, something like that. So, they rap because they want to have this tough guy image. They rap, they DJ, because when people view singers, they always view them as people that are soft or something like that. And the thing about it is that what I've always seen technically is that I could do a lot of stuff right now that wouldn't, wouldn't be me doing actual work. It would be actual lazy work, but I would be able to get away with it because, coming up, I was and will always be by nature an artist. Yes, someone that can convey something, but they create something from something existing already. Meaning, whether it be the type of artist that I am, I'm not an abstract artist. I'm one that does realism. There are different art school gives people different varieties. One that I specialize in realism. And just overall realism. You ever see like anatomy sculpts, architectural realism, I study other things, but overall all of my material has got to be like realistic. Yeah, and I'm going into the next thing, so I can just cut up for a while. I hope like the fan thing cuts down, the fan noises. Y'all can understand, where this is. based off my face and everything, but y'all gonna see. So you know what I mean. I'm just dabbling around right now, trying to see if I can get certain likeness. Yeah, this. Wow. Yeah, I was. This one. I did this one. You know what I mean? Prior to the Arnold and the model that I did for my game. This was probably one of the first sculpts that I did in ZBrush. I wanted to do like a mixture between the Mark Ruffalo Hulk and the Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean? How, you know what I mean? I saw them doing different concepts, and it's going to be probably something that I apply to when I'm doing this. What the Falcon one? This is the same mesh that I changed the color, the coloration, basically changed the color and did the red out. And I mean changed up some of the facial features. And I mean I think I was going to do eyes especially for the red ball. And I mean this was done like 2016 basically. So and I mean the video is much longer, but I sped it up because I didn't want this passing the 1 hour mark. Technically, is I wanted to like do when I'm doing these videos that of most of the stuff that I did like unreleased stuff. I'm gonna like you know what I mean, kind of doing in a time lapse fashion, but you know what I mean, kind of have a little bit of commentary. Yeah, well, this is early out, you know what I mean? And I didn't I didn't have much, you know what I mean, footage of this. I think I have like only 1 hour of footage. And how I started off with the Arnold Schwarzenegger model was similar to this. So you know what I mean, I just made a video collage of all these videos, you know what I mean, compile them together and said I would just put them out for people to view. You know what I mean, a lot of stuff that I didn't get to post back then. I wanted to make this Hulk like, you know what I mean, different from the Marvel version, the Universal version, and the Ang Lee Hulk. I wanted to make him, you know what I mean, more like the Savage Hulk in terms of how he would look. And I think there's a lot more going on, like Savage, and he would look like the one that came on in 2008-ish, but more bulkier. And I just wanted to do it with a difference, you know what I mean? It's gonna have some type of unique, it's gonna be more unique than the other versions of it. I didn't want Marvel to think I was, you know what I mean, copying off how they model theirs. Yeah, I wanted to make him look more in previous in much newer versions. The Hulk has gotten more civilized, like Professor Hulk. I wanted to embody, you know what I mean, how he looked in the comics, because this is the same version of Hulk that you see. The new video that I'm gonna put out, gonna go in and touch it up, and then I'm gonna make the Wolverine model for the Wolverine versus Hulk cinematic that I'm planning to release next year in 2024, 25, sorry, correction, 2025. You know what I mean? I have a lot of things that I want to put out, so I want to make as much of these videos, you know what I mean, possible. I was texturing while, you know what I mean, adding wrinkles and blemishes and stuff like that. Yeah, because there's actually more than one version. There's actually a next version that is pretty much, it's not a realistic skin tone type of green. This one is a lighter green than the previous. You can see that in the menus I've got like two versions. You see one that's really a darker green, and this one's a lighter green. So I didn't, you know what I mean, the footage for when I was just doing it and the lighter green version, and then it translates to this, no, the darker green version, then it translated to this lighter green. Most of that footage was corrupted, you know what I mean. I did a lot in ZBrush, just crashed, a lot of it, and a lot of it was lost. So I'm kind of salvaging what I added that. So that's the reason you don't get the entire video of me just, you know what I mean, doing the Hulk. I could have done a gray Hulk as well, but you know what I mean, I think in the newer video that coming up is much more meaner, but to show you where I started out, you know what I mean, kind of getting him the way he looks and transitioning into how he would look as the Red Hulk. I wanted to get like wrinkles and tear in the jeans, but back then we didn't have that much features. So a lot of features have come out in Zebra since that. And what I did with the pants right there, I re-sculpted and edited it. Went into like Maya, and I mean, changed it up, put like a few tears and stuff, cause the Hulk always got like tears in his clothes. So you're gonna see like this the duration of the video, and I mean, we're coming up to the end right now, so say this is gonna run like 40 somewhat minutes or 50 minutes, and I mean, so in the next one that I post, you're gonna see me finish up stuff with the Falcon, and then we're gonna hop into Blender, where I'm gonna, be working on the render, like the fight between Falcon and the Red Hulk cinematic. I'm gonna do my version of it. So because the movie hasn't come out yet, it's supposed to come out in February. So, I just wanted to recreate what I saw in